Hi, I'm Jesse. Welcome back to my channel, Jaffe Duck Productions. Today we're going to do a review and recap of Arrow, Season 6, Episode 10, Divided. It is its mid-season premiere. It is about, despite losing half his team, Oliver remains confident that he, Felicity, and Diggle can stop Caden, James, and Black Siren. However, when he discovers one of Caden and James' secrets, he decides to team up with an unlikely ally. Meanwhile, Dinah spends time with Vince. Vince being Vigilante, her ex-boyfriend and partner with the Central City Police Department. So we start with, it opens up with a shot of one of the Bertinellis. He is one of the last Bertinellis, actually, after Huntress and Arrow were done with them. So he owns the docks, he does shady deals on the docks. It opens, he reveals he's the cousin to the Huntress by naming a ship after her called the Huntress. It's very funny, and it's very well played off because he's played by Louis Ferreira. And yeah, he's been in a lot of things I love. Stargate Universe, Breaking Bad, apparently I missed that. But yeah, he's a very good actor and he sells the role. Yeah, I hope to be around for a little longer. Oh yeah, so it starts off with that. Caden James walks in with Black Siren and the other guy, I can't remember his name. He's the thug without the backup, essentially. So yeah, they all walk in and they demand the thing. They demand the docks because they're taking over. He says no. They threaten his daughter. He says no. They'll give him 24 hours. Yeah, it's just strong-arming him without even needing to do anything. They know who his daughter is. They know where she is. So the opening plays. It's still all the logos in the opening. So you've got your Spartan, your Wild Dog, your Mr. Terrific, your Black Canary, and the arrow symbol. So obviously they're not going to take them off the show, and they didn't change it just because they're off the team. So it switches over to the police department with Dinah wondering why she's having so many intakes. Turns out Vigilante, instead of killing criminals, is scaring them into turning themselves in. That's not even something Arrow's done. Well, to a degree it is. Anyways, so they're being scared themselves in, and he's doing it as a present to Dinah. It is kind of messed up and kind of sweet in the same way. So yeah, they have will they, won't they? Alright, we'll talk later, blah blah blah. So it switches over to Oliver and the team, and they get an alert that something's been broken into. All the security goes off. Oliver gets there as Green Arrow, obviously, and it's the Bertinelli, and he offers them a deal, which Oliver refuses at first. It's just because Bertinelli's been being pushed out. He looks to the one person that could stop them, which is Green Arrow. He makes a joke about a spotlight. I wish there was an easier way to contact you. Maybe even a spotlight, point it to the sky with an arrow on it. That's a good one. He also reveals that he didn't contact his cousin because she's underground somewhere. Like, she went underground, she's uncontactable. Alright, so it cuts to Renee getting his daughter ready for school, and her asking, why aren't you going to work, Dad? Because he got fired from the mayor because Quentin doesn't trust him anymore. Anyways, so he gets fired, and he's trying to calm his daughter down, make sure she doesn't have to worry about it. Curtis shows up with I can't remember what exactly he showed up with. It sounds like some awful donut or something. Kroger's, I think he called them. God, no. I don't even want to know, man. Anyways, so he shows up with Kroger's, and Renee has a great idea. Why he didn't say this before. Now that it's over the DA, they should hack his files. Hack the files and delete the copies of his statements so that he can choose not to testify anymore. To retract his statement, that's the word. So he can retract his statement. This is a great idea from Renee. A little late. You should have done this with Felicity. Anyways. So it goes back over to Dinah meeting with Vince, and they're having like a little date, reminiscing about the past, and blah 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 blah. And so she's like, alright, no more guys on my thing. I'm getting hand cramps from all the paperwork. Let's just stop. That was, alright, that was a side joke, but it also actually made me laugh in the moment. Cut to the back end talking to Lance. Lance offers her a position, to her old position back at the thing. Now, she's been stating this episode that she can't help Oliver physically, like she can't be Speedy. Alright, she can physically do it. I think it might be her mental state. The writing doesn't quite make sense, but she gave up being Speedy a while ago. And it was never because she couldn't physically do it. It was because she mentally couldn't do it anymore. I don't know. Like, I think the blood loss is gone. I don't know what they're doing with this character anymore. I don't think they do. I kind of hope that they bring Roy in and they go run off and be happy together and blah blah blah. Or something. Like, she goes and does something else. Because she's not really into it. This is the most, like, she's been in a coma for the past while, and but this is the most when she's acting, she's been there, so it's a lot more energy than she's had. I think she needed that break, and yeah, but back to the quiver. I really wish they would have called that the Arrow Cave. That it's hilarious, the quiver. Anyways, so cut back to the quiver. They're trying to fix John's hand. Well, it's nerve endings in his arm, I believe. Anyway, so they insert the device in the scanning device. They find the right spot. It doesn't work. Curtis removes the device. As he's removing the device, scanning has some sort of audio haptic feedback or whatever, and it's kind of like doubling up their voices. Alright. Felicity and Diggle kind of pick up pretty quick on what happened, because it revealed last episode that Kate and James had bugged their lair. How the hell did Curtis not see this? Curtis, the genius tech guy. Like, tech is his thing. He should know how his tech works, and when something like that happens, he should know why. Poor Curtis. That was a really hit to his character, and I really don't think they should have done it. But yeah, we'll leave that, and then they used the information about Kate and James and Black Siren going to the docks. They caught him on a security camera and got his license plate, tracked that license plate to the warehouse where he's at, and then Oliver goes in alone. It's just Kate and James, Black Siren, and other dude. And in there it revealed he reveals his entire team. And then he lets Arrow go free without killing him. I believe it's Richard Dragon says it best. That was a mistake. That was a huge, huge mistake. So, Caden James wants to play with him. That's just bad. Anyways, why would he reveal his entire team to him? Like, he's got the Russians, he's got the Russians, he's got Richard Dragon set, he's got Vigilante, he's got Black Siren, he's got other guy, I can never think of his name. Alright, sorry about that, my filming ended. So, I'm not entirely sure where I ended, but it was Caden James revealing all the people he has there. But before he revealed everybody, he also showed that he's stolen Curtis's technology. He has his T-spheres. And, well, Oliver took them down with little to no problem. But he also had that device that Oliver handed over, that Oliver had Felicity sabotage. Now that device, he was tinkering with it. I think he can fix it. I can't remember what it does, but it looks like he can fix it. So, he reveals his entire team, everybody he has, and he lets Oliver Queen live. What the hell is his plan for? Because that was fucking stupid. So, as soon as he realizes Vigilante's there, he goes and explains everything to his former team. Brings them all together, informs them of everything, and informs Dinah of Vince. Poor Dinah, but she goes, confronts him, finds out the truth, gets knocked out real easy, and then, yeah, so, a little too easy for my taste. Anyways, this is all happening. Captain Lance and Thea are bonding over missing Laurel and trying to save Black Siren, and that's their goal apparently for this season, is to save Black Siren. Do we really want Katie Cassidy back as Black Canary? Like, the best she's been on this series has been for Black Siren. I think we should just leave her as is. Don't get me wrong, I love Katie Cassidy, but it just is not great. Oh God, stop whining about trusting the team. Just stop. It, literally every season, a couple times a season, you don't trust the people you're working with. Half the time it's because you go make a deal with somebody that you shouldn't, but stop whining about not trusting this team. So, speaking of non-trusting team, they get together, decide to make their own team. And later on, Oliver calls them, tries to bring them back. They refuse. They try to start their own. They're gonna start their own thing, and he gives them his blessing. He finally apologizes to Renee in the right way. He was too angry because Renee was essentially stripping him from his son, but he understands that that's what he would need to do to save his daughter, so he gets it. So it's about time. It took way too long for him to say that. So Oliver then teams up with Bertinelli. He essentially uses Bertinelli to draw out Caden James and everybody for him, sets up explosives, and they're all in a warehouse together. Caden starts attacking Bertinelli. Bertinelli fires back. Oliver jumps in once most of the people are there, so that he knows where they are. He still gets taken out by Black Siren, but there's some amazing tracking shots of like some of the best camera work and some of the best stunt work on Arrow, and that takes a lot. We're tracking shots of him fighting through, just tearing through these guys. Is he killing people again? I'm confused. No, not gonna ask that question. It's just too much. So that all ends. He escapes with the explosives. They confront Bertinelli. Uh, he respects him, so what Caden James is going to do, he's going to take his docs. He kills Bertinelli, but he says as well, well, because of what he did, and because he did come and give me him willingly, I won't kill your daughter. Which, great, so there is a Bertinelli alive, so maybe take after her father? I don't know. Okay, so they go and, sorry, him trying to recruit the team happens after that warehouse fight. But, doesn't matter, same general principle happens. They are forming their own team. Curtis brings them to their new area, Helix's old lair. Helix being the tech people from, let's not get into that. And yeah, so it's very well set up, very techy, not quite as smooth looking as the Arrow cave, but it doesn't need to be. Anyways, so we go from there to, because Curtis gave something to Felicity, it was another upgraded version of his tech. She inserts Dig's arm, Dig's back. Dig is back. I did hear a theory, like, there's something up with the chip that's inserted into Diggle, that it might be giving him super strength, or something weird might be happening with it. Who knows? Should be interesting though. Like, it is a piece of tech. Caden James could hack it, just like he can hack Felicity's one in Felicity's back, potentially. And yeah, Dig is back. That's the most exciting part of this episode, is Diggle's back. I like the idea of two teams. Like, this should be separate. Oliver has trust issues, but if you can call on that team and they come back to back him up, that's awesome. I like the idea, and they could play around with it. I hope long enough that they don't go right to, hey, everybody's back. Alright, so that has been my recap of Arrow. Review, I would say, I would give this 3 out of 5 arrowheads for sure. It's almost, maybe 3.5, because it is almost bumped up to a 4 out of 5 just for the fight scenes, but it wasn't really well paced, and it's a very, very solid episode of Arrow, and it's a good solid episode to bring them back, but nothing really resolution. Like, they kill off a character was just introduced this episode. They kill off a character that's just introduced in this episode, played by an awesome actor. They reveal everything to each other that they just revealed to us at the end of last season. The end of the mid-season finale. So they just revealed this to the characters. Yeah, so it's nothing that interesting. Anyways, thanks for listening, guys. I'd like to hear your I'd like to hear your opinions about the episode down in the comments down below. Please like and subscribe, all that great stuff. Love you.